12 Secret Weaknesses of Women. Most men have no idea. Stay to the end. Number 10 is something no woman admits, but they all react to. Forget the cash, flowers, and flashy cars. These are the things that actually make her obsessed with you. There are things that make her melt, and most men walk right past them. Let me ask you something. Have you ever been with a woman who said all the right things, but still didn't stick around? She smiled, laughed, touched your arm. Maybe even said she liked you, but deep down, something was missing. Something you couldn't quite put your finger on. Here's the truth. Women fall for things most men never even notice. It's not just your looks. It's not money. It's not even how nice you are. It's in the subtle details. And once you learn what those secret triggers are, she doesn't just like you. She craves you, even when she doesn't understand why. These are the things that separate the maybe guy from the one she never forgets. Let's just say once you master all these, she's already yours. Let's begin. 1. The deep voice drop. There's something primal about a man's voice when it dips low, slow, and steady. It's not just about sounding sexy. It's about triggering something ancient in her. That deep, grounded tone, it signals confidence, presence, masculine authority. And without her even realizing it, her body reacts. Most guys speak too high, too fast, too eager. They rush their words, trying to impress. But a man who can slow it down, who can speak in a low, calm rhythm, instantly becomes magnetic. Why? Because it shows you're not chasing the moment, you control it. The deep voice drop isn't about faking a baritone. It's about relaxing your throat, lowering your pitch just slightly, and letting your words come out like velvet. Controlled, measured, unbothered. And when you're flirting, that's when it hits hardest. Try leaning in slightly and saying something like, "I like the way you look at me," when you think I'm not noticing. Slow, smooth. Watch your eyes. This isn't just talk, it's tension. And when you master it, your voice alone can feel like a caress. Seduction starts with sound. Use it like a weapon. 2. Subtle eye trails. How your glance says everything. A woman can feel your eyes long before your hands ever touch her. And when done right, the way you look at her can make her pulse skip without a single word. Subtle eye trails aren't about staring. It's not about ogling or being obvious. It's about giving her just enough attention to make her feel desired, and just enough restraint to make her wonder what's going on in your mind. Let your gaze flow naturally. Start with her eyes. Lock in, even if just for a moment. Then let your eyes drift down slowly to her lips as she speaks, the curve of her neck, her collarbone, and back again. Not too long, not too fast. Controlled, intentional. That small glance creates a spark, a message she instantly decodes. I want you, but I'm in no rush. Pair that with a subtle smirk or a pause in the conversation, and you've created a tension that lingers. You just turn eye contact into foreplay. When she notices you noticing her, and you don't flinch, don't apologize, that's when it lands. It's not always what you say. Sometimes it's how you see her. 3. Walking away first, while leaving her wanting more, is magnetic. There's a quiet, irresistible power in being the one who walks away first. Most guys overstay their welcome. They talk too long. They text too much. They try to seal the deal in one go. But the man who knows when to leave, while the moment's still electric, becomes unforgettable. Why? Because women crave curiosity. They want to think about you, replay what just happened, wonder why it felt so good, and why it ended so soon. That lingering tension is magnetic. It pulls her in deeper long after you're gone. When you're the one to walk away, at the height of connection, during laughter, after a perfectly timed tease, you show control. You show that your life is full, your time is valuable, and you're not desperate for hers. Say something like, "I'd love to stay longer, but I've got something I need to handle. We'll pick this up later." Then leave, cool, confident, unbothered. Now she's the one thinking about you. You left her smiling, maybe a little frustrated, but definitely wanting more. That's not rejection, that's seduction. It's giving her just enough to crave the next time. 4. Low-key jealousy curve. The power of being desired by others is magnetic. Nothing triggers a woman's curiosity and attraction quite like the subtle sense that other women want you too. It's not about flaunting or bragging. It's about energy. The energy of a man who's in demand without ever needing to say it out loud. Why does this work? Because attraction is social. Women are naturally wired to notice men who are already desired. It sends a primal signal. If other women see value in him, there must be something there. The key here is low-key jealousy. You don't rub in her face. You hint at it. You let it slip casually. You stay calm, mysterious, and never explain too much. Maybe you mention, yeah, I had a friend who used to get jealous when I didn't text back fast. It was a thing. Or, it's funny how some people get clingy when things get intense. Now, without saying much, you've painted a picture. You're a man who's been wanted. And still, you're calm, not chasing anyone. This creates internal tension. She feels pulled to compete subtly, to win your attention. And it's that desire to win you that makes her feel the burn of attraction. Now she's not just interested, she's intrigued. 5. The wrist touch, innocent but electric. There's a reason the lightest touch can sometimes spark the strongest reactions. And when it comes to touch that feels almost accidental, but still unforgettable, the wrist touch is king. It's not obvious. It's not aggressive. But done right, it lingers. A man who knows how to graze a woman's wrist, just gently enough to be felt, but soft enough to be questioned, creates a moment that echoes in her nervous system. Why the wrist? It's delicate. It's exposed. It's packed with nerve endings. It's the kind of spot we don't pay much attention to until someone else does. And when your fingertips slide over hers, just brushing her inner wrist during a laugh, a goodbye, or while reaching for something, her body registers that connection faster than her mind can. Even science backs this up. Subtle, unexpected touch creates oxytocin, the bonding hormone. But beyond chemistry, there's psychology. The wrist touch feels intimate without being invasive, and it opens the door for her to start imagining more. The best part? You don't explain it. You don't apologize for it. You just let it happen, then move on like it was nothing. But trust me, she won't forget it. 6. Eye contact and a smile. Timing is everything. There's a fine line between intense and inviting when it comes to eye contact. Perfect timing with that gaze can make her feel like she's the only one in the room without you saying a word. But the magic doesn't stop at the stare. The key here is to lock eyes with her and hold it just long enough for it to register. Then boom, you give her that slow, knowing smile. The combination is electric. Why? Eye contact is often seen as a window into a person's soul. It signals interest. When you meet her eyes, you're telling her, I see you, I'm paying attention, you're intriguing. But it's the moment that follows, the smile, that flips the switch from serious to playful. That subtle change in expression communicates something far deeper. It says, I want you, but I'll make you wait just a little longer. It's powerful because of the contrast. The intensity of the stare pulls her in. The smile softens the approach, but only enough to keep her wanting more. Timing is everything here. Too quick of a smile, and it loses its charm. Too long without one, and she may wonder if you're too serious. The dance between these two is what creates the magnetism. 7. Genuine curiosity makes her feel seen, not scoped. When you engage her with genuine curiosity, it's like you're letting her know that you're not just interested in what's on the surface. You're fascinated by who she really is. It's a powerful shift from the usual superficial interest that many men offer. Instead of giving the impression that you're simply scanning her for physical features, you're showing her that you value her thoughts, opinions, and personality. A man who asks insightful questions and listens actively creates a vibe of authenticity. When you ask, what's your favorite way to spend a Sunday? Or what's something that's really important to you? You're not trying to get in her pants, you're trying to get inside her world. The difference is subtle but profound. When you're genuinely curious, you make her feel like you're invested in her as a person, not just as a potential conquest. You're letting her know, I see you, I respect you, and I want to know more. This approach isn't just flattering, it's magnetic. Women crave feeling understood. And when you give her that, you build a strong foundation of emotional connection that makes her want to be closer to you. 8. The slight challenge. Why pushing back ignites a spark. Nothing wakes desire like a hint of resistance. The slight challenge is your secret weapon. a small boundary, a playful pushback, or a teasing contradiction that flips the script and makes her lean in harder. Think of it this way. If you agree with everything she says, you become predictable, vanilla. But when you gently challenge her point of view or question her playful boast, you create an electric charge. Suddenly, the conversation isn't just shared, it's dynamic. She's not only talking to you, she's sparring with you, and the tension between you is delicious. For example, if she brags about being a great cook instead of saying, "I bet that's amazing," try, "I'm not convinced. I'll need a taste test." Or when she teases you about your favorite sports team, respond with, "Sure, but only because you're biased." You're not being rude, you're inviting her to play. That playful friction triggers a primal response. She wants to prove you wrong, and in the process, she's showing off her best self. She laughs, she flirts back, she leans closer, because now the conversation feels like a game, and she's invested in winning. A slight challenge isn't about disrespect, it's about creating chemistry through confident, teasing opposition. And when she pushes back, she's already falling deeper under your spell. 9. The slow yes. How hesitation turns her on. In a world where instant gratification reigns, the slow yes is a breath of fresh air and a powerful magnet for attraction. It's the art of taking your time, being deliberate in your responses, and letting anticipation build in the space between words. Instead of rushing to confirm everything or giving an answer too quickly, you let the silence hang in the air just a little longer. Why is this so effective? Because hesitation creates curiosity. When you don't immediately agree, her mind starts to wander. She wonders what you're thinking. She wonders why you're pausing. The slight delay, whether in a conversation or an action, builds an electric tension. It makes her hang on to your every word, your every move. You just sparked a little mystery, and mystery is one of the most seductive elements in attraction. Imagine this. When she asks you a question, instead of rushing in with a quick yes or no, give a slight pause, look her in the eyes, and then respond with a thoughtful, maybe. Your hesitation speaks volumes, and as her curiosity grows, so does her desire to know more about you. The slow yes isn't just about creating suspense. It's about mastering the rhythm of attraction, making every moment with you feel like a tantalizing build-up. 10. Command, not ask. Directing her energy versus chasing it. The energy you project plays a significant role in how women perceive you and interact with you. Commanding her energy isn't about being domineering or controlling. It's about having a natural sense of authority that makes her want to follow your lead. When you command her energy, you give off a vibe that says, "I know who I am, and I know what I want," without ever needing to ask for permission. Women are drawn to men who don't chase energy. They attract it. When you're constantly chasing her attention, approval, or affection, it often feels desperate and can push her away. However, when you're the one directing the interaction, whether it's through your actions, words, or presence, she naturally gravitates towards you. It's the difference between pleading for attention and being the one who deserves it. Instead of asking for validation, you project your own value and let her come to you. Think of it like a magnetic field. You don't chase the magnet. The force of attraction pulls the objects in. You don't need to ask her to follow you or show interest. When you radiate confidence and purpose, she'll be drawn to it naturally. Women love a man who leads without effort. 11. Intentional silence, not awkward. Seductive. In a world where everyone is constantly talking, intentional silence stands out. It's not about awkward pauses or uncomfortable quiet moments. It's about creating an atmosphere where the lack of words speaks volumes. When you master the art of silence, you communicate more than words ever could. You communicate presence, depth, and desire. Imagine this. You're in a conversation with her, and then, for a brief moment, you let the silence settle between you. The absence of words, instead of creating discomfort, builds anticipation. Your eyes lock with hers, your posture remains confident and calm, and suddenly, she starts to wonder what you're thinking. What's behind that stillness? What's brewing beneath the surface? Silence can be incredibly seductive when used at the right moments. It allows the tension to rise, and she feels the unspoken connection between you. You don't need to fill every space with words. Sometimes, less is more. The silence makes her more aware of your presence, your energy, and your intentions. It's in these moments that she'll feel the magnetism between you. It's subtle but undeniable. Intentional silence turns you from just another guy into someone she can't stop thinking about. 12. The voice that feels like touch, energy behind your words. Your voice isn't just sound, it's sensation. When you speak with purpose, warmth, and intention, your words can feel like fingertips grazing her skin long before you ever get close. That's the magic of the voice that feels like touch. Imagine lowering your tone, adding gentle inflections, and letting each syllable carry a subtle vibration. Think of your voice as a hand sliding along her spine. Soft, deliberate, and impossibly electric. By matching your vocal energy to the mood, warm when you're complimenting, a bit huskier when you're teasing, you transform ordinary conversation into emotional foreplay. For example, try leaning in and whispering, "If I were right next to you, you'd feel the heat of my words," or pause after question. Then say, "Listen to my voice, let it draw you closer." That pause is key. Let the silence hang. Then deliver your line with slow, assured energy. She'll catch the undercurrent of desire in your tone and feel it in her chest. When your voice becomes a tactile experience, she won't just hear you, she'll feel you. And that's the ultimate seduction. Now you know why the quiet guy, she can't explain how she's attracted to him, always wins. These 12 hidden yet powerful weaknesses work like magic, and once you tap into them, you'll be unlocking desire in a woman in ways you never thought possible. Which one hit hardest for you? Drop it in the comments. I'm making to know which one really sparked that light bulb moment. Was it the wrist touch, the voice that feels like a touch, or maybe the slow, deliberate challenge? And hey, if you want part 2, where we dive deeper into more seduction secrets, hit that subscribe button and level up with me every single day. Next drop, the number 1 body language mistake that kills attraction. You definitely don't want to miss that. Trust me, it's going to change the way you interact with women. See you in the next one, and keep being irresistible to these beautiful ladies.